Hey, James at Barbour Creek Long Range Hunting and Shooting School. Today we're going to be looking at the Fusion rifle that we build, which is on a Zeus action. We use our stock, the Artemis, or the new stock, which is the Mountain Light, the Arcalite. And if you're going to do the short action, you can use 2 bolts, Magnum and Standard, and 2 magazines, Magnum and Standard. And the barrels you just switch out. The Zeus action allows you to completely switch out the barrels and change chambers, or you can go from like a chamber caliber, for instance, like a 6.5 Creedmoor, 6mm Creedmoor. You can go to a 7 Winchester short mag, 7 short action ultra mag, 30 short action ultra mag, 37 Winchester short mag. I'm going to put a list so I don't have to keep rattling these off. But basically you're going from like what's called a standard caliber all the way up to a Magnum caliber. So you can practice deer hunt with your 6mm, 6.5 Creedmoor, 308, 243, and then switch over to a heavy Magnum caliber, 7 Winchester short mag, 6.5 PRC for your larger game and long range shooting. All in one system. Same scope, same action, same trigger, same stock, so you're constantly used to it, which is real nice. So really all you have to do is get like the SIG Kilo 10K, 8K. You build 2 different profiles, for instance. One will be 6.5 Creedmoor, one will be 6.5 PRC. I'm going to do the 6.5 PRC and Creedmoor today. And then that way when you change barrels, you just switch profiles. So let me kind of walk you through it. I'm going to use the Fix-It sticks, which has the 15-inch pounds and 65-inch pounds. And I'm going to show you how to do it. So right now we're going to start off with the Creedmoor. I'm just going to screw the barrel in. And again, do not torque these on. These are designed to be snapped on. So we're going to get that shoulder butted up against it. And I'm going to back it off just a little bit and then snap it on. That's it. I'm done. I'm going to go ahead and take my torque, which is the Fix-It sticks. I can speak English today. And I'm going to take it to 15-inch pounds. And this is just an Allen screw. I'll get a close-up of it. I'm going to go to the other side and do the same thing. And all I'm doing is torquing this Allen screw. This Allen screw pushes against these flats, or the round flats on the barrel itself. So this one is now ready to go. I'm going to go ahead and put it in the stock. So we glass bed these stocks, so they're extremely tight and they're very precise. Take your bottom metal, and these are M5 footprint that we use. Everything's pretty tight. Put our back screw in, put our front screw in. I'm going to change this torque, and I'm going to put in the 65-inch pounds. Trying to do this on camera with one hand is interesting, but we'll make it happen. All right. And then what I'm going to do is just snug this up, snug up the other side. And when I get them both similar, I'm going to go ahead and torque them in. There you go, you can hear it. And this one is now done. Now this one has the 6.5 Creedmoor magazine. So the only thing I got to do now is go ahead and put a suppressor on it, and let's check our 0 at 100 yards, and we'll shoot it out to 1,000. So stand by while I go get a suppressor. Alright, normally I would not use a front rest, but I do have a rear squeeze bag. I just don't have a bipod mount on it. So I'm going to check the 0 at 100 yards, so stand by. And I do have a round in there. This is the 6.5 Creedmoor. I'm going to shoot a bullet hole first. Okay. Go ahead and put another shot down range. Alright, so let me go ahead and adjust that. Take another shot. Okay. Pretty close to 0. I'm going to go ahead and set the 0 real quick. And with these, this is the Night Force. Go ahead. All I'm going to do is I'm not going to mess with the 0 stop because I have it so it goes about a minute below, and that way if I got a little bit of difference between the 2 barrels or calibers, then all I got to do is readjust the turret, and I don't have to mess with the zero stop. So let me go ahead and adjust that. Alright, so from there what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and build a profile. So I'm going to build a profile for the 6.5 Creedmoor and the Kilo, and then I'm going to build a profile for the 6.5 PRC when I get that barrel on. So stand by while I build a profile, and then I'll be right back. I put the profile on the SIG 10K. This is the 6.5 Creedmoor with a Hornady 140 ELDM. The wind is coming left to right at about a little bit less than a 45, a little bit more than a 30 degree. So it's a 4-mile-an-hour wind. The waves are what we call medium waves, so it's only going to be running right at about a 1 3/4-mile-an-hour wind. So I plug that in. And 1,001 yards, 31.5 minutes and 2 1/4. So 31.5 and 2 3/4 in a wind, so stand by. Parallax is already done. I got the level. We'll check it. Alright, that was pretty easy. And of course, everybody calls when you're doing something, so let me ignore that. And as you can see, data was good. Gun shoots well. I'm going to go ahead now and pull the suppressor. I'm going to change the barrel. I'll pull the suppressor off film, and then I'm going to pull the barrel and put the 6.5 PRC on and do the same thing, so stand by. Alright, we pulled the suppressor off. You can see I got the gun sitting here. What I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and break loose the barrel right now by these set screws. Don't take them out, just loosen them up. Okay, and again, if you don't have too much carbon, if you do and you can't get the barrel loose, get yourself a little strap wrench. And this one came loose pretty easy. Let me change torque heads. And what I'm going to do at this point is go ahead and break loose the action itself. The reason is I can't unscrew this barrel all the way because this stock has that barrel channel. Now sometimes I can just loosen it and drop the receiver a little bit, but I'm just going to pull it out. If you have a chassis, you can do it easily. You don't have to take the receiver out. So we're going to switch over now to the 6.5 PRC and get that out. Let's go ahead and change this magazine while we're waiting. Alright. What I'm going to do is lift this up. That's probably actually good. We'll unscrew the barrel. I guess you gotta be smarter than the receiver. Okay. I'm just gonna take it all the way out, so. This is the 6.5 Creedmoor barrel coming off. Pull the bolt out while we're waiting. Put the 6.5 PRC Magnum bolt face in. Alright. Put the 6.5 PRC barrel on. So again, these are all done by our gunsmith, so they're pre-thread, pre-chambered, and ready to go. You just got to put them on straight instead of crooked. There we go. Helps when you do things right. It's crazy like that. I don't understand. Alright, and again, I'm going to find shoulder, and I'm just going to snap it, and that's it. I'll go ahead and change this, put the 15-inch on and snug it up, and you'll hear it. There you go. Do the other side. Okay, let's throw this in the stock. Okay, throw our bottom metal in. I'm going to turn this sideways. Trying to film and do things is a little difficult sometimes. Alright, I'm going to put in the 65-inch. Put our screws in. They usually help if they're in the hole first. Again, I'm just going to snug it up first. And that's only to make sure that I don't twist one side or the other. Actually, it's not all the way down. Okay. There we go. And I don't like to take anything off film. I want you to see if I'm having a hard time doing something. and it's operator, timing, and headspace. It ain't anything else here. It's just me trying to do everything on film. There we go. All right, so I got the new bolt. I got the new barrel. Okay, the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and zero it at 100 yards. Of course, I'm going to put the suppressor on. So stand by while I get the suppressor and get the camera set up on 100 yard. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and check the 100 yard zero, see how much of a difference there is. I'm sure there is. This is a brand new barrel. I've never fired it, so you're going to find out like I'm going to find out. 6.5 PRC, 100 yards. I'll aim at the 2 shots I made up in the upper right hand corner. Alright, and so what I can tell is I aimed down low at the middle of the paper, so let me go ahead and adjust for that. So we need to come up, and we need to come to the right. Okay. I'm going to make sure that's on camera. And it is. Alright, so, alright, let me go ahead and get this zeroed. Looks like we're about 6 minutes difference with this barrel. Alright. Okay, we got to come down a little bit more. Once I get this zeroed, we're in the money. Okay, and probably 2 more clicks. I actually did 3. Okay, close enough for what I want to do. Again, I'm going to re-zero the turret because I told the ballistic program that this gun is zeroed at 100 yards. Again, I'm not going to mess with the zero stop right now. Okay, put this on 0. By the way, that was 4 minutes difference. It hit 4 minutes low compared to the 6.5 Creedmoor barrel, and that's to be expected. You're going to have a difference of impact. Alright, so what I'm going to do is I'm now going to run out to 1,000 yards. So let me go ahead and get this started. I have never shot this gun. I got a pretty good idea what the velocity is. I've never shot this barrel. So I'm going to true the velocities real quick, and then we'll go after another clay pigeon at 1,000 yards, so stand by. Alright, I'm going to take the first shot. By the way, so let me just show you that it does load from the magazine, which is a new Magnum magazine. Alright. I'm going to go out to the plate real quick and just get an initial truing, because again, I've never shot this barrel. So we'll get the initial velocities. Of course, the velocity is going to change over a short time. We'll give it 2 minutes of wind at target 2. Okay, not bad. We're about 1, 2, 3 clicks low. We'll shoot one more. So pretty good guess on the velocity. All right. Bring it down one. It came up too much. We'll give it a little less wind, go 1 minute and 3/4. Okay, right next to the last shot. All right. We'll do one more. Okay, we got a really good 3-shot group out there at 1,000 yards. We're off a little bit on our data. So it's going to be 26.5 minutes actually to get to 1,000 yards. I'll readjust that in a second. All right, let's go ahead and go after the clay pigeon. We'll go under target 2 while we're here. All right, wind did slow down. The wind speed is now 30 degrees at almost half value, so it's a 1.5 mile-an-hour wind. So I'm just going to give it about a minute of wind. All right, so not only did we shoot a clay pigeon at 1,000 yards with the brand new barrel, not even broke in yet, we got about a 3-inch group at 1,000 yards. And that's without the leads even starting to round off yet, and the gun not even sped up yet like it's supposed to. Very simple. I went from a 6.5 Creedmoor to a 6.5 PRC, all on the same stock, same scope, same action. I literally swapped the barrels because it's a short action and it's going from a standard caliber to a Magnum. I did have to change bolts and magazines. You do not have to do that with the long action Fusion. Long action Fusion, you can go from a 6.5 PRC and go right up to, with the same magazine, by the way, yes, and same bolt, you can go to a 7 Ren mag, 300 Win mag, 300 PRC, 28 Nosler, on and on and on and on, all on the same gun. Now with the short action, you're looking at 308, 243, 6.5 Creedmoor, 6mm Creedmoor, and then when you swap the barrels and bolts, you're looking at 6.5 PRC, 7 WSM, 300 WSM, 6.8 Western. Now, can you do a 7 SOM and the 300 and all that? Yeah, you can. The reason we don't is because we only shoot factory ammunition, Hornady ammunition. And the one exception we're going to make is the 6.8 Western. I'm going to develop a really good load for it, or a good factory load for it based on the barrel twist I'm going to assign to it. What I'm trying to do is match calibers and bullet weights up with basic what we call dynamic stability, or having the right stability factor for that bullet based on barrel twist, bullet weight, and not break into 300,000 RPMs for hunting. So bottom line, you've got one gun, 2, 3 calibers, 4 calibers, whatever you decide to do, all in one package. That's the Barbour Creek BC 1400 Fusion rifle, built on Terminus action, and of course we run benchmark barrels on everything we do, unless they're a proof research carbon fiber for the most part. Look, that's James at Barbour Creek. Thanks for joining us. Hope you enjoyed this, and hopefully it was educational. Do learn about the SIG Kilo 10Ks and 8Ks. In my opinion, they're still by far the best ballistic rangefinder in the market currently. So thanks for joining us.
Barbour Creek is America's premier long-range hunting school. We train on full-size animal targets out to 1,000 yards. With our world-renowned long-range instructor and a heated and air-conditioned shoot house, we are able to train all year round. We provide luxurious sleeping accommodations and full-course meals for our clients. We'll give you the confidence to make that once-in-a-lifetime shot. Contact us at 334-845-0000.